Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn few concepts related to reflection of light at spherical surfaces or curved surfaces. In this video, we are going to learn what are the rules to draw the ray diagrams by using concave mirror as well as convex mirror. Now, I am going to share my screen. Here, spherical mirrors are classified into two types: concave mirror, convex mirror. Means concave mirror, convex mirror are constructed from a part of a sphere. How they are constructed? Let us see. Suppose this is a sphere. If you cut this sphere, then it is a curved surface. If the reflecting surface, this is a non-reflecting surface of the curved surface. This is the non-reflecting surface. This is the inside is reflecting surface. If the reflecting surface is inside, it is named as concave mirror. Whereas, suppose if the reflecting surface is outside, whatever I draw lines are non-reflecting surface. So reflecting surface is outside, convex mirror. So you can understand that reflecting surface for concave mirror is inside, but reflecting surface for convex mirror is outside. Here we are going to learn few key concepts or keywords related to these mirrors. Here this is a sphere, hollow sphere. C is the called center of sphere. For this curved surfaces, curved mirrors, this C is called center of curvature. The midpoint of this mirror is called pole, and the distance from pole to center of curvature PC. This is pole. The distance from pole to center of curvature is called radius of curvature. It is represented by R. And all the rays which are coming incident on the reflecting surface of concave mirror, which are parallel to the principal axis, after reflection, they must converge, they must meet at a point on the principal focus. This point is called principal focus or focus. The distance between pole to focus is called focal length. And the relation between radius of curvature R and focal length is radius of curvature is twice of the focal length here. R is equal to twice of the focal length. Or focal length is half of the radius of curvature. From this relation, if you know the radius of curvature of a spherical mirror, you can calculate focal length. If you know the focal length, you can calculate radius of curvature. Next one, this is a concave mirror. This is the focus. concave mirror is named as convergent mirror, and it is a negative mirror whose focal length is negative. Why the focal length of a concave mirror is negative means, if you measure the distances along the direction of light, it should be taken as positive. If you measure the distances against the direction of light, it should be taken as negative. For a concave mirror, direction of light is from left to right, but we are measuring from pole opposite or against direction to the light. So for a concave mirror, focal length is negative. Here, here have taken a candle which is considered as an object here. I placed in front of a reflecting surface of a concave mirror. Then it emits the light in all directions. The direction of light is represented by a ray. But to locate image position, the minimum rays required to locate image position is two rays are required. Where the two rays after reflection meet, it gives the image location. For that, you have to use three laws. Let us see what are those. See, in this one, if a ray is parallel to the principal axis, this is the ray, parallel to the principal axis, after reflection, incident on the reflecting surface of a concave mirror, after reflection, it must passes through focus. This is called rule 1. What is the rule 1? The ray which is parallel to the principal axis, after reflection, it must passes through focus. This is rule 1. These rules are very, very important. Now, let us see second rule. See here, from this candle, two rays are coming. One is parallel to the principal axis, incident on the reflecting surface of a concave mirror. After incident, after reflection, it passes through focus. This is principal focus. This is ray 1. If take one more ray, the ray which is passing through focus, incident on the reflecting surface of a concave mirror. After reflection, it is parallel to the principal axis. What is rule 2? The ray which passes through focus of a concave mirror, after reflection, it must parallel to the principal axis. This is rule 2. These two rays meet at a point. This is the location of the image. See here, this is the object, this is the image. So, to locate image position, the minimum number of rays required are 2 rays. We can also take more than 2, but it is somewhat clear to understand. That's why we have taken 2 rays. And we can place the object in front of a concave mirror at a different positions. If you place an object at a distance of infinite in front of a concave mirror, image is locates obtained at focus or principal focus. Then we can place the object beyond C, on C, in between C and F, on F, in between pole and focus. C means center of curvature. But in all 6 cases, one important situation is there, that is when you place the object between pole and focus. Why this is very important means, if you place the object in between pole and focus of a concave mirror, then you get virtual enlarged erect image. Only if you place the object in front of a concave mirror between pole and focus, in this situation only you will get virtual erect enlarged image. In all remaining cases, you are going to get real images. Please remember, what is the difference between real image and virtual image? Real image can be captured on the screen, but virtual image cannot be captured on the screen. See here, again to locate its image position for virtual case, object is located between pole and focus. 2 rays are taken from the object, one is parallel. After reflection, it passes through focus. Another one is seems to passes through focus. After reflection, parallel to principal axis. If you extend it back, they are going to meet at a point. This is the location of the image. This is virtual, means if you place a screen here, you won't capture this image on the screen, and it is erect, not inverted, and enlarged. If you see, the image size is very large compared to the object. That is the meaning of enlarged or magnified. See here, if you take convex mirror, reflecting surface is outside, it is a divergent mirror. Divergent means all the rays incident on the reflecting surface after reflection, they are not going to meet at a point. If you extended back the rays, they are going to seems to meet at a point on the principal axis. This is called focus for a convex mirror. That means concave mirror possesses real focus, whereas convex mirror possesses virtual focus. And focal length of the convex mirror is positive. That's why it is called positive mirror. See here, I have taken a ray, placed the object in front of a convex mirror. The ray which is parallel to the principal axis, after reflection, it is divergent. If you extend it back, it seems to pass through focus. Another ray I have taken, which is seems to pass through focus, after reflection, it is parallel to the principal axis. So, in this, we are going to learn the things related to reflection of light at spherical mirrors. Before going to sum up, I conclude once again. Two types of spherical mirrors are there. One is convex mirror, another one is concave mirror. To draw the ray diagrams by using these, we have follow three rules. One is rule 1, if the ray is parallel to the principal axis, after reflection, it must passes through focus or seems to passes through focus. If the ray is passing through focus, after reflection, it must be parallel to the principal axis. And another rule is, if the ray is passing through center of curvature, is undeviated. Thank you.